Oh, no, not that one, damn it. Oh, Lord. Hey, guys, it's Mo from Mo in the Deep End, and Fry is wandering around, so when he comes back in camera frame, I will put him up, but I did want to take a short bit of time before this all started, and of course, I had to push the wrong daggone thing, so it is still your classic duct tape and holy water and prayer production. But I really wanted to take some time to thank you guys all for your encouragement, your support, and just your general awesomeness. So, thank you guys all so much. And I will have a celebration and the aforementioned, WAP stream, but it will have to be on the weekend when I can recover because I am no longer 21 and must be able to recover. So thank you all so much, and I did start the process, so that's undergoing review or whatever magic that YouTube does. I have no idea. It's YouTube. But thank you all so very, very, very much from the bottom of my heart, and Fry agrees. And thank you, Sal, so much. Thank you to all the mods. Thank you to everyone who, helped me figure out how to do stuff. Thank you, EU, for helping me learn how to do overlays without crying or wanting to throw my computer in the trash can. So thank you to everyone. And thank you to Dave and Jamie and everyone. I will have a giant thank you and all that other stuff stream probably this weekend. I will put all of that information out there when I can figure out when I'm going to do that, because I know my daughter, I think, has regionals or sectionals. I was never good at sports, so I don't know which one comes next. Uh, but anyway, she's running for sports and for fun, which I don't understand, but she's doing it for the state, and I have to be there. So I will do that this weekend. But, we have newsy news, not boozy news. I did eat something, so we will have newsy news. And the first newsy news we have is a wild Disneyland brawl erupts with kids and stroller caught in the middle. Now, what I will say is that I think that this is like the 3rd or 4th, brawl in Disney World this year. And, look, Disney World or Disneyland or Disney World is way too daggone expensive for you to be getting into fights, because then you get chucked out, I'm pretty sure. And I know, I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much. And why is it always the family with the matching T-shirts? Like, the family that has the matching T-shirts always getting in the brawl. It's a brawl world after all. Shocking video from Disneyland shows a group of adults in a wild melee over the weekend across from the Mad Tea Party ride at the famed Anaheim, California theme park. At least 5 men and women were seen shoving, punching, kicking, and wrestling with each other close to several children, a video shared on Instagram shows. Thank you so much. Now we need to get Sal and EU up to speed, and then Crime Spies. We need to get everyone going. It is unclear what led to the dust up, which saw the brawlers nearly knocking over a baby stroller as they threw wild haymakers at each other. An Anaheim police spokesperson said the department assisted Disneyland Resort security in responding to the fight. See, it's always the family with the matching T-shirts, I swear to goodness. Like, all the family in the red T-shirts. Quote, "No arrests were made, and the incident remains under investigation," the officials said. Uh, Disneyland did not respond to a request for comment, probably because they didn't want people to be fighting in their daggone, Disneyland. Last year, Disney took the unusual step of reminding guests not to fight each other at the happiest place on earth following an uptick in melees. Um, I don't remember this happening when Walt was in charge, but I also remember Walt asking Disney not to sell booze. Uh, Two people were banned from Walt Disney World this spring after they attacked another family who asked them to move out of the way of their photo op. You guys, Disney just hiked up their prices for like the sixth time for tickets. It is too daggone expensive to be fighting each other. It's also too hot and too crazy to go to Disney World. But those are the reasons I won't go. Well, I mean, I guess they just I mean, what is it? The pineapple whip, I guess it was just too daggone awesome. In sadder news, 4 Pepperdine University seniors fatally mowed down by an out of control BMW driver in Malibu. 4 Pepperdine University students were killed by an out of control BMW driver as they walked along Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu on Tuesday night, according to police. The 4 women, who were all seniors, were fatally struck when a 22-year-old driver, identified by police as Fraser Michael Boehm, lost control of his BMW around 8:30 p.m. Tuesday on a notoriously treacherous stretch of the iconic highway. The students were identified by school officials as Niam Ralston, Peyton Stewart, Aisha Weir, and Deslyn Williams on Wednesday. Quote, to the students who loved and lived with and were in community with the departed members of our Pepperdine family, my heart is broken with yours. I join you in your grief as we process this profound loss. Pepperdine President Jim Gash told the student community in a statement. Boehm was speeding as he drove westbound on the highway in his dark vehicle when he lost control, smashed into several parked vehicles, and then crashed into the group of young women walking in the area. The Los Angeles Sheriff Department told reporters at a news conference Wednesday. KTLA reported. Witnesses reported that Boehm got out of the vehicle unharmed. Doggone it, why is this always the case? And look, I'm happy that he was not hurt, but why is it always the case that, like, the drunk driver or the person driving like a jackwagon is always safe? And that then these innocent girls who are just walking around, their families are destroyed. It just it burns my biscuits. I'm trying not to curse as much and stay hydrated and one with the universe and all the other things. Look, on a good day, it works. On a bad day, I use an F-bomb or two. It is what it is. It's a balance. Uh, let's see here. Uh, and was tackled to the ground by several people. See, I mean, these beautiful young girls had their entire lives ahead of them, and he just walks out of the car. Rolston, Stewart, Ware, and Williams were declared dead at the scene. I'm trying. I'm a trying. In my brain. 2 others were taken to local hospitals in unknown conditions, cops said. Boehm was arrested on charges of vehicular manslaughter with gross negligence. A DUI investigation is still pending, the LASD said. However, he was later released from custody due to lack of evidence. You still have 4 counts of vehicular manslaughter, I would think, Fox 11 reported. The crash occurred roughly 4 miles north of Pepperdine's picturesque coastal campus. A prayer service has been scheduled for members of the Pepperdine community at 10 a.m. Thursday, the university said. Additional plans are in the works to hold a memorial service for each student. Quote, "In the days ahead, we will come together in meaningful ways to honor and celebrate the lives of the remarkable individuals lost to this unthinkable tragedy," Gash said. It's a sad story, and sometimes it's just senseless, and you'll wanna make sense of things, and there is no sense. And hopefully this young man I look, every person is redeemable except for Kevin Spacey. Look, we have to have standards, and he is my one that I don't know. Well, that and urine from earlier today with Natalie Holloway, but that's between him and Jesus, okay? Hello, Christine. And hello, Kim and Eris and Squab Bob and Excited, and it's me, Josie, and Murph's Turf, and Carlene, and Farrell, and This Way Up and Stray, excuse me, and Crime Spies. Look, Kevin Spacey has to work that out with the Lord. Look, like they say, I'm glad Jesus loves you because everyone else thinks you're a jerk, all right? That's how we go with that one. But maybe I hope this is rock bottom for this young man, and maybe he spends and he spends the rest of his life doing good for the lives that he cut short, and I don't know how he'll do that, but, he could, and I hope that something good comes out of this. I don't know how it will, but hopefully it will. In other news, in nature's gonna do nature, lion bites zookeeper in routine feeding, which means the lion just ate what he was gonna eat, I guess. At New York Zoo, officials say. A New York zoo was closed to the public a day after a zookeeper was bitten by a lion. And I'm very sorry, Squab Bob. Sudden, really unexpected losses are just gut wrenching and they're really hard. And you just don't get over them. You learn to live with it, but you don't get over them. So I completely get it. Sir Bert, you are fine. I know you get your zoomies right now, but you will be fine. We got news. Let me see if I can text Mr. Mo and the boys can take you out. Since you apparently are dying to death. Okay. Yes, I hear you. Yes, I know. You wouldn't go out because it was raining because you were Thor is out. He is being a pain because he hates Fry. And Fry is I'll have to bring him. Yes, yes, I know. If you do not bite me. Yes, I love here. Your adoring fandoms. Oh, yes, I love you so much too. You are getting way too big to be a lap puppy. You realize this. You not Pomsky, you. Okay, first responders were called to the Utica Zoo about an animal bite on Tuesday, October 17th, the Utica Fire Department said in a Facebook post. The zookeeper was doing a routine feeding and closing procedure when they came into contact. All right, sir, you're down. You're in a bitey mood. With one of the male African lions and were injured, the zoo said in a news release. The keeper was sent to the hospital for non-life-threatening life-threatening injuries, the zoo said. During the incident, the lions didn't have access to the outside of their enclosure, and no other staff or any members of the public were put at risk, the officials said. The zoo said it contacted the Association of Zoos and Aquariums to inform them of the attack. This is actually Fry. Yes, Fry has decided that he doesn't like the rain. He hates the rain. He will not go outside unless I stand right next to him and hold the umbrella because he's a whiny baby. Yeah, it's nature. Uh, there will be no punitive action against our lions, Andrea Heath, executive director of Utica Zoo, said in the release. An incident occurred which is being reviewed and will be learned from. We are all grateful our staff and animals are okay. The zookeeper was released from the hospital on October 17th, according to WKTV. McClatchy News reached out to the Utica Zoo on October 18th for more information and is awaiting response. Yeah, the zoo said it would remain closed Wednesday, October 18th to allow staff to, quote, take time to focus on care of themselves as well as the animals and reopen Thursday. Yeah, look, maybe it's just me, but possibly don't don't feed wild animals, but I don't know. Yeah, who knows? Utica is about 250 miles northwest of New York City. Well, that's good because I had no idea where Utica really was. But I like the name of it. And I do like that they're not blaming the lion. In sad news, but I believe he lived a full and rich life. Rest in peace, Burt Young, Rocky actor and Oscar nominee, died at 83. Young had roles in acclaimed films and television shows, including Chinatown, Once Upon a Time in America, The Sopranos, but was best known for playing Polly Pinio in 6 Rocky movies. Now, I only watched 1 Rocky movie, so if I mispronounce that, look, I only watched 1 Rocky movie. Yeah, that was kinda silly. You really need to respect wild animals. They're still wild no matter how crazy and domesticated they seem. They're still wild animals. Welcome, Velhammer Media. Burt Young, Oscar-nominated actor who played Paulie, the rough-hewn, mumbling, and grumbling best friend, cornerman, and brother-in-law to Sylvester Stallone in Rocky franchise, has died. Young died October 8th in Los Angeles. His daughter, Anne Moria Stenginger, look, I am terrible with names, y'all. I am so sorry. Told the New York Times on Wednesday, no cause was given. He was 83. Young had roles in acclaimed films and television shows, including Chinatown, Once Upon a Time in America, and The Sopranos. Oh my gosh, look how I haven't seen the last 2 Rocky movies. Oh, I'll have to see those. I did not know that, Eris. I won't have to look that up, but I did not know. But he was always best known for playing Polly, Pinieno in 6 Rocky movies. The short, paunchy, balding Young was the sort of actor who always seemed to play middle-aged no matter what his age. When Paulie first appears in the 1976 Rocky, he's an angry, foul-mouthed meatpacker who is abusive to his sister, Adrian, Talia Shire, whom he shares a small apartment in Philadelphia. He berates the shy, meek Adrian for refusing at first to go on a Thanksgiving night date with his buddy and coworker Rocky Balboa and destroys a turkey she has in the oven. Well, that sounds like a peach. Well, oh my goodness. The film became a phenomenon, topping the box office for a year and making a star of the lead actor and writer Stallone, who paid tribute to Young on Instagram on Wednesday night. Very good. Along with a photo of the two of them on the set of the first film, Stallone wrote, quote, "You are an incredible man and artist, and I and the world will miss you very much." Rocky was nominated for 10 Oscars, including Best Supporting Actor for Young. It won 3, including Best Picture. Young and co-star Burgess Meredith, who was also nominated, lost to Jason Robards in All the President's Men. As the movies went on, young Polly softened, as the sequels themselves did, and he became their comic relief. In 1985's Rocky, either 4 or 5, I'm not good with my Roman numerals. Oh, good lord. Eris, if I ever have a need to see 1970s, vintage prawn, I will keep that in mind. Oh, lord. He reprograms a robot Rocky gives him into a sexy voice servant who dotes on him. Polly also, uh Polly was also an internal pessimist who was constantly convinced that Rocky was going to get clobbered by his increasingly daunting opponents. His surprise at Rocky's resilience brought big laughs. Quote, "It was a great ride and it brought me to the audience in a great way," Young said in a 2020 interview with Celebrity Parents magazine. Quote, "I made him a rough guy with sensitivity. He was really a marshmallow even though he yells a lot." Born and raised in Queens, New York, Young served in the Marine Corps and fought as a professional boxer and worked as a carpet layer before taking up acting, studying with legendary teacher Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio. On stage, in films, on television, he typically played small-time tough guys or down on their luck working class men. In a short but memorable scene in 1974's Chinatown, he plays a fisherman who throws a fit when Jack Nicholson's private detective, Jake Gitz, shows him a picture proving his wife is cheating on him. Young also appeared in director Sergio Leone's 1984 gangster epics Once Upon a Time in America with Robert De Niro, and in 1986's comedy Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. I remember that movie. I know my mom didn't let me watch it intentionally, but I loved Rodney Dangerfield. And in the 1989 gritty drama Last Exit to Brooklyn with Jennifer Jason Leigh, in a striking appearance in season 3 of The Sopranos in 2001, he plays Bobby Bacalari Sr., an elderly mafioso with lung cancer who pulls off one last hit before a coughing fit leads him to dying in a car accident. Later in life, he focused on roles in the theater and on painting, a lifelong pursuit that led to a gallery show or to gallery shows and sales. His wife of 13 years, Gloria, died in 1974. Along with his daughter, Young is survived by one grandchild and a brother, Robert. Well, same here. Um, in no doy news, bombshells expected to be revealed in Idaho college murders case during Brian Koberger's trial. It's almost like, da-da. But okay, let's see what we're waiting to hear. Uh, they've been waiting for answers for almost a year now. Last January, Brian Koberger was charged with the murders of 4 University of Iowa students, Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Zaina Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin in a Moscow, Idaho rental home, not long after a gag order was issued, effectively stopping the flow of information to the victims' families. Recently, Koberger waived his right to a speedy trial so his defense team could have more time to prepare, which the prosecutor called a quote smart move to given the mountains of evidence, much of which the authorities have managed to keep secret. But now a bombshell report has revealed shocking new details about the horrific night. According to online newsletter Airmail, the grand jury was told that the 2 roommates who were also in the house at the time survived. Quote, allegedly had not only been awake while the killings had taken place, but they heard everything. More astonishingly, sources alleged that the 2 girls had been texting one another as the murderer methodically went from one room to the next. Adding to the mystery, the story also claims there's another secret witness. Look, who knows? Initially, cops suggested that the roommates had slept through the massacre, but an affidavit later revealed that one of the women was awakened by what sounded like Goncalves playing with her dog. And then she heard who she thought was Goncalves say something to the effect of, there's someone here, followed by crying. The woman opened her door to see a masked man walk by, which left her, quote, frozen in shock. Still, no one called 911 until the next day. According to Air Mail, there is a witness who can explain the sequence of events, but the FBI is protecting his or her identity. Yeah, I'm calling BS, but who knows? Yeah, Debbie W. Look, if I was a young college student and this had happened, eh, look, you are a kid old at 19 or 21. You are okay. So what really happened that night? Quote, I think there's was a lot of weird stuff going on at that house. Former Chicago police officer Steve Wilkos. Wait, Steve Wilkos as in all right, this is a junk ridiculous article. Never mind. Steve Wilkos, the guy that took over for Jerry Springer, that's who you're citing? Okay, enough said. Unless I'm thinking of another guy. But no, we're done with this article. I'm done. It's annoying me. Okay, FBI. Thousands of remote IT workers sent wages to North Korea to help fund weapons programs. Well, I'm so glad that FBI was, busy making sure that parents didn't upset school boards so that they could make sure that this all funded North Korea's next, grand military project. That's what I'm thinking. So if they were citing him, but priorities, FBI. Yeah, pretty much. Veilhammer, great segue. St. Louis, thousands of information technology workers contracting with US companies have for years secretly sent millions of dollars of their wages to North Korea to use in its ballistics missile program. FBI and Department of Justice officials uh, said, "Hmm, so if you had possibly, I don't know, been paying attention to things like this instead of, I don't know, making sure that parents weren't, scaring them school boards, by being concerned about their kids' education. Okay. I'm just spitballing here. You could have maybe found this out before, Kim Jong Un, does something. The Justice Department said Wednesday that IT workers dispatched and contracted by North Korea to work remotely with companies in St. Louis and elsewhere in the US have been using false identities to get jobs. The money they earned was funneled to North Korean weapons program, FBI leaders said at a news conference in St. Louis. Pretty much. I don't know. I'm gonna have to, start following this woman because Excited has a "Hey Eggplant" for this woman. Okay, then maybe I had the other one mixed up. Let's see. Federal authorities announced the seizure of $1.5 million in 17 domain names as a part of the investigation, which is ongoing. Jay Greensburg, special agent in charge of the St. Louis FBI office, said any company that hired freelance IT workers more than likely hired someone participating in the scheme. This scheme is so prevalent that companies must be vigilant to verify whom they're hiring, Greenberg said in the news release. At minimum, the FBI recommends that employers take additional proactive steps with remote IT workers to make it harder for bad actors to hide their identities. Officials did not name the companies that unknowingly hired North Korean workers or when the practice began. Court documents allege that the government of North Korea dispatched thousands of skilled IT workers to live primarily in China and Russia with the goal of deceiving businesses from the US and elsewhere into hiring them as freelance remote employees. The IT workers generated millions of dollars a year in wages to benefit North Korea's weapons programs. In some instances, the North Korean workers also infiltrated computer networks and stole information from the companies that hired them. The Justice Department said they also maintained access for future hacking and extortion schemes, the agency said. Greensburg said the workers used various techniques to make it look like they were working in the US, including paying Americans to use their home Wi Fi connections. Tensions on the Korean peninsula are high as North Koreans have test fired more than 100 missiles since the start of 2022. And the US has expanded its military exercises with its Asian allies in a tit for tat response. In September, North Korean leader Kim Jong Un called for exponential um, increase in production of nuclear weapons and for his country to play a larger role in a coalition of nations confronting the United States in a new Cold War, state media said. In February, United Nations experts said that North Korean hackers working for the government stole record breaking virtual assets last year, estimated to be worth 630 million and more than $1 billion. Because, of course, they did. The panel of experts said in a report that the hackers used increasingly sophisticated techniques to gain access to digital networks involving in involved in cyber finance and to steal information that could be useful in North Korea's nuclear and ballistic missiles programs from the governments, individuals, and companies. Oh, good lord. Well, I guess that's awesome. I mean, why not? Well, I'm glad that we've had our eye on the ball and worried about, us domestic parents while North Korea is apparently building cyber warriors. And, women, I have started the process and I think they are reviewing my channel. So I'm pretty sure I'll have stuff to do in the morning, but I just have started everything. So they're going over and reviewing. Um, so in Be careful with crazy ex-girlfriends who are police officers. A police officer arrested for breaking into ex-boyfriend's home and beating up his new partner. An OPP. Oh, I'm old enough to remember a rap song with that, but that's very inappropriate. Officer will appear in court on Friday after she reportedly broke into her ex-boyfriend's home and assaulted. His new partner, according to CTV News, the alleged victim, Chantel Stacamos, said Constable Amanda Farrell was upset her ex-boyfriend had moved on and broke into their home to confront the couple. Quote, it was 15 minutes of terror, Stacamos said to CTV News. It was really very scary. She was in full uniform, had her hand on the weapon most of the time. Anyone remember was it Stephanie Lazarus? Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad that I wasn't the only one. Thank you. I was like, "There we go. I hope everything's okay." Uh, at at point said, "If you don't leave, we're going to call the police," she said. "I am the police." After the alleged incident, Farrell filed charges against her ex-boyfriend and said he assaulted her. Eventually, she dropped the charges. Farrell has been charged with breaking and entering with intent to commit indictable offense, 2 counts of assault, criminal harassment, mischief, and forcible confinement. I am the Senate. No, I'm just kidding. Wrong thing. I was very worried because I kept asking the police, "Can you at least just tell me she had her weapon taken away?" Stekamos said. "At least tell me she's not responding to calls in my area anymore." The OPP declined to comment to the state or to on the situation to CTV News, but did confirm Farrell was on unrelated leave. I'm sure she's on unrelated leave. I know. What are you gonna do? Oh, well, she's going to appear in court virtually on Friday, and it's the totally wrong kind of feral. I mean, there's 2 R's, 2 L's, the A and the E are all in wrong spots, so it's not our feral. Our feral would never do this. And, why can't the government just leave nature alone? BLM, so Bureau of Land Management, not Black Lives Matter, which I always have to remind myself when I read headlines like this, plans to take more than 1,000 wild horses in a roundup northeast of Eureka. Okay. So the Roberts Mountain Complex covers more than 500,000 acres northwest of Eureka, Nevada. It's home to at least 1,161 wild horses. Well, so they claim they have a reason, but every time the Bureau of Land Management says they have a reason to do something, it usually ends up with stealing people's land for eminent domain for some reason. A count taken in March that doesn't even include foals born this year. On October 22nd, the Bureau of Land Management will begin a roundup that is expected to remove about 1,068 of the horses, according to Monday news release. BLM says the complex, a combination of public and private land, is only rated to support 110 to 184 wild horses. Getting down to that level will, quote, prevent any undue or unnecessary degrading of public lands associated with excess wild horses and burros, restoring a thriving natural ecological balance and multiple use relationship on public lands, BLM said. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Okay, let's see. The BLM is currently involved in another roundup of the Basin National Park that is scheduled to begin this week. About 400 horses are expected to be taken off the range in that roundup. Helicopters are being used in roundups despite efforts by U.S. Rep. Dina Titus, a Democrat from Nevada, and wild horse advocates who want BLM to end the practice. As a part of Roberts Mountain's complex roundup, 19 mares will be treated with a fertility control vaccine called Gonacon Equine that will be released back onto the range with 19 stallions. Officials say 16% of the herd has been moved to areas where they're not supposed to be. The gather is needed to halt the degradation by overpopulation of wild horses both inside and outside of HMA protected habitats to prevent the decline of animal health. The roundup is scheduled to last 19 days and public observation is allowed. For more details on this roundup and how you can observe, you can go here to their website. A previous BLM roundup in the sprawling antelope complex produced a lawsuit earlier this year by wild horse advocacy group Wild Horse Education. The lawsuit tried to stop the roundup, which ended with 3,078 horses gathered and 39 deaths, including 11 sudden acute deaths from injuries that happened during the roundup. The lawsuit failed, but brought more attention to BLM's use of helicopters to pursue a horse that had a broken leg. The BLM criticized, quote, sensational allegations in the lawsuit. I mean, so you're going to stress these animals out more by using helicopters. You had There just has to be a gentler way to do this. I don't know. It just There seems to be a gentler way to do this than having a helicopter, but as a non-horse person, I really don't know how one would do this, and, I mean, can't we find some cute cowboys to do this? I'm just saying. We make a calendar, cute cowboys, you've got wild horses. I I can only see this going slightly wrong, Eris, but I'm willing to open up the idea. I'm open to the idea, but I have a feeling that would go terribly wrong too. And in final news, uh, this human piece of garbage allegedly, uh, quote, needed it for himself. Man charged with 2 counts of vehicular homicide over 2-year-old's death allegedly stole her memorial cross while out on bail. What the actual Cheetos? A Wisconsin man previously facing 2 homicide or felony homicide charges for killing a 4-year-old girl with with his car is now facing misdemeanor theft for stealing a cross from the child's memorial. What is wrong with people? I I see by your Jim Brewer style eyes that you are probably high as balls right now, sir, but you are a boil on the butt of humanity. In May, Nathan Hitzman, 24, was charged on one count each of knowingly operating a vehicle with a suspended license and causing death and homicide by vehicle while using a controlled substance. Are we shocked? The homicide charges, which are distinct from the counts of murder and carry a maximum sentence of 31 years, with a mandatory portion of any potential sentence to be served on extended supervision or probation, and a 6-month suspension from driving in the Badger State. According to court records reviewed by Law and Crime, Heitzman was also charged with a bail jumping felony. He now faces an additional 6 years and 9 months in prison if he's convicted as charged. On April 12th, Cordelia Cuther, 4, was killed in a two-car collision as she stopped to pet a dog. I I hate people sometimes. The incident occurred at the intersection of North 21st Street and Saman Avenue in Sheboygan. In a GoFundMe that has since ended, the girl's great aunt advised against hate and anger. Well, ma'am, it's a little too late for that. Okay, I will simmer down and ask drivers to be more aware. Quote, our family wishes and simply asks that people be more aware and focused while driving, the fundraiser reads. Pay attention to your speeds, pay attention to other cars, pay attention to stop signs and actually stop at them. Pay attention to others on or around the roads. Do not look at your phones while operating your vehicles. Don't drive while intoxicated or under the influence of anything. It only takes one misstep in driver awareness for tragedy to result. Crap. Additional. Well, you know. According to the criminal complaint obtained by Milwaukee-based ABC affiliate WISN, Hitzman quickly accepted responsibility for the fatal accident that also wounded two other children. Quote, "This is my fault," the defendant allegedly said. Quote, I stopped at the stop sign, okay. Looked back and forth, I saw them playing on the corner. When I looked to the right, I did only look once, I'm not gonna lie, and it was kinda quick. I did not see any car, but I'm assuming they were behind my A pillar. That was just perfect out of my view. It's my fault, the complaint reads. Prosecutors, however, contest that account, alleging that data from Hitzman's own truck suggests that he did not actually stop at the stop sign. Wh When Hitzman failed to stop at the intersection, his truck collided with a minivan, authorities allege. The minivan then jumped the curb and struck Cuther, who was standing by a wagon at the time. Later, the defendant offered an investigator more of an admission, according to law enforcement. He allegedly added, quote, let's just go with that I was suspended and I'm still driving and I shouldn't be. When it came to the matter of the child's stolen cross, on the other hand, Hitzman was allegedly far from forthcoming or contrite, at least at first. Quote, are you sure my little brother didn't take the sign, officer? The other day he told me he was really sick of looking at it, the defendant allegedly told an officer when questioned about the missing cross in late August. According to the criminal complaint obtained by Milwaukee-based NBC affiliate WTMJ, the complaint also alleged Hitzman mocked the notion of a cross being stolen by asking, quote, "Did it get picked up and grow legs?" What a jerk face. The memorial cross was stolen sometime earlier that month. Officers were called to investigate the theft on August 17th when a witness told authorities that Hitzman showed him a white cross in a backpack, according to the complaint. The cross was purchased by Cordelia's family and was in a private yard when it was stolen, police say. Or Hitzman allegedly told him he needed it for himself. This dinglehopper needs to go to prison. The defendant has a bond hearing this afternoon. A status conference for his case will be slated for November 22nd. Do you think he got bond? I don't think so. Well, you guys, those are the newsy news stories for today. And I just wanted to say again, thank you all so much for everything. And y'all, I looked for happier stories. Look, allegedly in Minecraft. I'm just saying. I looked for happier stories today. It has just been a bum stink day for happy stories. I'm trying, y'all. Look, it's been a we'll look at Babylon Bee. Here we go. This tub of expired Hellman's mayo and 10 other Republican front runners for the Speaker of the House. As the search for the next Speaker of the House continues, the American public is starting to wonder who else may be a candidate to fill the important role in the nation's legislative legislative branch. With popular favorite Jim Jordan struggling to muster enough votes, the candidate currently gaining the most momentum in the race is an expired tub of Hellman's mayonnaise. Historic. Hellman's isn't alone. The Babylon Bee has obtained the following list of the other GOP frontrunners. Number 1, a tub of expired Crisco. Not as good as Hellman's mayo, but a solid backup opinion. Number 2, exclamation point Jeb Bush. Can you say comeback? Yeah, baby. A talking puppet that says, yes, spend more money when you pull its string. This wouldn't be much of a change from what the country is used to. Vladimir Zelensky, the man who really holds the purse strings of the United States government, would be a solid choice. Number 5, an actual jellyfish. There's no one better at losing with dignity. Number 6, an inflatable arm flailing tube man. Nothing better to drum up some excitement in the house. Uh, Number 7, Taylor Swift for improved C-SPAN ratings. Number 8, David French. What better person to lead the House of Representatives than a man whose righteousness truly exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees? Number 9, Nancy Pelosi. At this point, might as well. And number 10, an actual rhino. No more rhinos, just go with the real thing. With any luck, you'll soon see one of these options pounding that gavel and spending that taxpayer money in no time. Best of luck for the Hellmans. I still go with Bigfoot. Bigfoot or, the Hellman's jar. I'm actually okay with the Hellman's jar. Yeah, but then we'd have to pay all of her staff to move her crap back into the office, and I'm not paying her staff to move her junk back into the office. We just got done paying her staff to move it back out of the office. It's ridiculous. I'm not doing it. Yes, Bigfoot for president. I'll go as vice president. You know, if he or she can't be found, but I'll work in the background, just doing whatever. But that's my vote. Bigfoot for president. I think we found him, or that was an RV company's greatest advertisement ever. But I'm going with we found Bigfoot because 2023, you owe it to me. So I say Sasquatch for president 2024. I'm okay with it. I say everyone just write in some fake character for president. I said ridiculous. Yes, I did. I'm going with the tried and true, Sticks Hexenhammer for president. Of course, he said he will not run, or if nominated, he will not serve, and if elected, he or if nominated, he will not run, if elected, he will not serve, so we do have to fall back on Bigfoot. But those are the stories for you tonight. I will see you bright and early at 9 a.m. for more court, current event, crime, and chaos. We will be finishing up, at long last, the Boy in the Box trial, and then we might try out the Mountain Dew hiker trial that I think I saw was starting up, uh, next week, or possibly started today. I don't know. We'll see what other trials are coming up. I'm not quite sure, but have a wonderful evening. Thank you all so very, very much. I will see you in the morning, and then we will finish up the Boy in the Box trial. It'll be awesome. And we will be on to the next trials. Have a great evening. I will see you all in the morning. Bye, guys.